Hello, I'm FPX and Minecraft is the game where no one can tell you what you can and cannot do, and this of course applies most to the building within the game. Anyone can build anything they like to for all sorts of different reasons. I have an insane sugarcane farm because I really like sugarcane farming. I have a castle perched on top of a mountain because I thought it would look ridiculous to have a frozen moat around a castle on top of a mountain that shouldn't support itself, but yet it does because Minecraft physics, and I have this little cage as a reference to Form's Fortress in Super Mario 64. These are all things I built for various different reasons that no one else is probably ever going to build. However, despite that being true, there are some things in Minecraft we all need to build at some point. Everyone knows that you need a Minecraft house, everyone knows you need a cave, everyone knows you need a Nether portal at some point, but it's your choice whether your house is inside of a cave or on top of a mountain or anything else you want to do. You have freedom to decide within these bounds, and that's why in today's video I think I talk about things that you probably should have in your Minecraft world, that you almost need to have in that world, that you can do however you like, but you need to do somehow so that you can have some inspiration as to what to build, because one of the biggest tragedies in Minecraft is a lot of people don't know exactly what to build in any given point in time. So here are 5 ideas that you can customize as much as you humanly want, as long as you build them in some form in your Minecraft world. So with that said, let's dive straight into this one, and let's get started with the very first thing on this list, which is not going to be a beacon at the very origin of your world, which I think is cool, but it's definitely not necessary in any way. The first thing I think everyone should have in their Minecraft worlds that not everyone does is going to be a Nether highway or a Nether pathway of some form. You need to have some way to get between your various Nether portals, because the Nether is 8 times scaled to the overworld, so you can travel much faster here. You need to have some way of doing that in relative safety, whether it's just for the purpose of traveling through the overworld, or whether it's for the purpose of getting your Nether quartz or any other valuable resources from here. You need to do it safely from the ghast. And although you could light up all of the Nether and you could try to stop them from spawning that way, there are theoretically ways you can prevent ghast spawning. What's way easier is just to have a pathway built from a high blast resistance block. That's right, in Minecraft there are various different items with different blast resistances, and as long as you pick one which has a blast resistance over about 15 or so from this list right here, then it will be resistant from any explosions. When the ghast fires a fireball at you, what will actually happen is the explosion will hit, but it won't hurt you in, well, I mean, it can hurt you in the slightest. It won't hurt your build in the slightest, and this means you can build whatever you like here. So I recommend having some form of pathway in your Nether so you can get between Nether portals without being bothered, because again, one of the easiest ways to conquer Minecraft is to remove the danger of some of these ridiculous enemies that no one likes anyway, and ghasts are right up there on this list. And here's the cool thing about this particular design, which I like, where you have the second block free. You can't fall off, but you can see at any point in time where in the Nether you are. You can see what's out there, say Nether quartz or ghast and stuff, and even if a ghast chooses to attack you, they won't be able to, because again, the ghast fireball will come through here, will explode on the lip and won't be able to get you. So yeah, this is a great way to view the Nether without any risk from any angle, which means that you can bring horses or you can bring dolphins or whatever else you want to bring through the Nether without any risk of them being harmed as well. So yeah, this goes for quite some distance in the Nether, and the reason that you want to have a safe Nether is so you can do ridiculous things like, do you want to have villagers in your Nether? Well, you know, not only do I have this nice little secure area with zombie pigmen and stuff, I also have a little miniature NPC village over here that does exist in my Nether with jungle villagers as well. How's that possible? It's possible by having a safe Nether where ghasts can't attack you. As you can see, I made this whole area covered in stone. This might be overkill, but if it's what you want, it's what you want. Also, a little known fact that sounds like it shouldn't be true, because glass is very explodable. It doesn't have the blast resistance required. However, ghasts can't shoot you if they see you through glass. They won't destroy the glass to get to you, because as far as the ghast is concerned, there's a block between them and you. They can't see you even though there's glass here, so you can see the ghast, they can't see you, and this means that what you can actually do is make a pathway out of glass blocks if you want to, because again, as long as you don't go outside of it and don't let ghast see you from the inside of it, what you can actually fairly safely do is have a glass pathway going over, you know, the end of nothing, where you can see everything that can't see you because you're surrounded by glass. And to prove this point, let's make ourselves a little chamber right here. Let's look at the ghast right in the eye. As you can see, he's so close to us. If we go outside of this, here you can see ghast wants to attack us because the ghast can see us. Ghast gets behind some blocks, can't see us anymore. Ghast comes out from outside those blocks and will start attacking again. Just like this, the ghast now has a very clear line of sight on us. Unless we build some glass blocks in our way, now even when the ghast comes back to us, won't be able to hit us, which means we can have a whole little pathway built that can keep us safe. That's right, a very real thing you can do in the Nether is have a glass pathway where it looks like you should be destroyed at any second by ghasts, but they're not able to. Obviously, blazes could get in there and, you know, cause you issues, potentially, but they can't destroy the glass, which means glass in the Nether is safe as long as you fully coat yourself in a thing so that no ghast can attack from any angle, which is beautiful. Look at this distance the ghast is away from me. Look how close we've gone to the ghast, where the ghast just does not care about us, doesn't know we're here until we step immediately out, and what you're gonna see the ghast is following us, ready for an explosion, just like that. However, go back under the glass and everything's entirely fine. We are safe, we are entirely invulnerable, as long as there is glass between us and the ghast. Glass and ghast, they've got a similar amount of rhyminess to it, and it's hard to say, okay? But yeah, glass the ghast away. Glass them if you want, and then they'll be safe. So yeah, this glass technique is something I intend to use in my Nether at some point for another pathway, because stone bricks are something that's got like this kind of brutalist kind of feel to it. However, sometimes you want to build like a pretty little pathway, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have like a really nice floating above lava glass pathway, because I think the way these Nether fortresses end and they just kind of like lead off into nothing with a giant pit of lava below them, I think this is the perfect place to have like a glass pathway where you can see at all times you are directly standing above lava. It's a really, really fun vibe, one that you could recreate for yourself if you want to, and one where you're entirely safe as long as you build, again, make sure you have side rails and make sure you have something up above. You can make this as big or as small as you like. You can make it 2x2, you can make it 3x3, you can make it ridiculously sized if you really want to, as long as you're covered on all angles, just like we are right now. So yeah, you can expect to see something like this from me in the somewhat near future when I get some more glass. Again, we've just gone through a lot of glass based on our end, and sand I should say, based on our end stuff that you probably know about already. But with that said, let's move into the second project every world should have, and it doesn't involve looking directly into lava like you're about to die in it. Nice save, right? So the second thing everyone should have in their Minecraft world is a village, but those naturally generate, whether old, if you have an old world like me, or whether the new types of villages, you're going to find villages with villages in them. That's going to be something that happens regardless of all of this. However, the things you can do to the village is you can customize it. You can fill a field near your village with beds if you want to have a lot of them for a lot of different trades. You can build new buildings for them. You can do all that sort of stuff. Everyone knows about this already, but one thing that's genuinely super useful that everyone should have in some form is a wall around their village. That's right, you need to build a wall and you need to make the villagers pay for it because, you know, this is a real problem for us that we can only fix with the walls. I make the greatest walls, by the way. This is what this video is definitely going to turn into right now. But no, more seriously, a wall is going to be super useful because it gives you an area you can light up and keep safe. In this case, you know, to protect the villagers from zombies and from jumping up and down. Are they working out together? If they are, that's a really nice joint activity there. But, you know, you can actually, you know, have this wonderful place where it's fully lit up, as you can see with torches, so no zombies will spawn here. If a pillager raid happens, all of the villagers are safe because they're within the walls and the pillagers will spawn just outside of it, if you design the wall boundaries just right, that is. And basically, you can have a village which is an entirely safe zone, so when you spend all this time getting a villager up to the max level, giving them that diamond proficiency, they're not going to die in a pillager raid and waste all of your time. Admittedly, farmer villagers are quite easy to level up and they don't. You know, the best reward is like golden carrots free for free. Not the best trade in the world, but the fact is that you can keep your villagers safe using a wall, and something I've noticed is a lot of people have done this same thing. If I show you on screen right now a bunch of way more artistic walls than one we've done, because this was designed to be pretty, again, squarey. Our village is an old square village, so I figured a great square wall around it would be great. This was designed for the fascist village, so it's like a perfect square. It's a very nice geometric shape in my opinion. It was basically designed to keep the villagers in as much as it was designed to keep other things out, but it was a fun thing to build at the time that also increased my villager population because of the doors. But yeah, it was a fun thing to build at the time, and it's something every village needs if you care about that village, because if you're playing on normal or harder difficulty, odds are if you leave a village for long enough, just within your render distance, but not, you know, like while you're there, a zombie raid will start, the villagers will die, and all of your progress will be reset, and no one wants that. So what do? You build a wall. You make your Minecraft world great again, and that's why you need a wall, and indeed that's why you need to have yourself easy access to an end portal, or multiple end portals if you find multiple near different builds in your Minecraft world, but you need to find the one that is most central to all of your builds, and you need to make easy access to it, because, you know, truth be told, you can just have a ladder to climb up and down from the surface to this, and that's a, you know, more adequate provision than most Minecraft players actually do. What you could also do if you want to get from the end portal to the surface easily is you can use one of these soul sand little ladders and you can climb up really fast, but what I recommend for the other way around is to carve out out the entire roof off your end. This is something I did in about an hour live stream. I was surprised how fast this actually went. It's a really easy thing to just destroy the roof off your stronghold, then destroy all of the ground leading into it, and because it's not actually a big, like gap, you can end up with really easy access to your end portal. Plus, I think it kind of looks cool just having this, clear destruction. Plus, in my case, I love this. I mentioned it a billion times, but it's because I love it that much, and you're going to listen to it, damn it, because that's what YouTube's all about. It's about my passion, and my passion includes this slip and slide right here, where as you can see, you slip, you slide, and you land on the end portal frame. So luckily, we only took 3.5 hearts of damage, but let's show you that one again, shall we? As I was saying, you glide in because you're in a hurry, you do a little bit of a slip, you do a little bit of a slide, and then you land perfectly in the end portal, and you'll notice how you don't take any full damage, at least in Minecraft Bedrock, when you land in an end portal, no matter what height you land in there from. This sounds kind of unbelievable and unrealistic. It sounds like it's fake, but yet it's not. We just got ourselves easy access to the end, and we fell in there from a slip and slide. If you find that dangerous, if you think that's silly, or if your portal's just so low down that it's actually a genuine risk, then what you can instead do is you could obviously, you could have like it be a smaller thing or have a layer of water to protect yourself. So another thing that you can do, and I'll show you this in the end where it's actually surprisingly risky to do this, we can have a bucket of water, but instead of having the bucket of water go all the way out into the void or into over your end portal, which maybe you don't want, what you can instead use, and this one I think is a fun little alternative, is a sign of some form or a ladder or anything that can block the flow but allow you to go past it, because as soon as you place this there, which is going to drop the water by the way, which is a big problem for us as we're floating in the end, and this means that what you can actually do is you can safely land from any height into the water, and then that'll stop you from the fall. So just to show you this one working in action, because that might sound confusing. Let's say we've got this nice little island down here that's a secret for some reason, or maybe we actually live in the bottom of one of these end islands, which I think is a great little idea. But let's say we have a little secret place that you want to get to that, you have to access from pretty high up because this is quite low down. For dramatic effect, I'm going to deliberately build myself up all the way like 20, 30 blocks up. This fall will kill me because look at my health bar, look at how high this fall is. But you see, I'm going to go through the water, and just going through the water will reset your full, thing. Even though your full speed is the same, your full, damage that you should go through is reset by the water, which means when you land from there to here, it's a 3-block fall, no damage taken whatsoever, despite the huge fall that we just went through. You can use this for your end portal if you want to, just in case you're worried or you're playing on Java or whatever else, and yeah, then you can get to your little secret underneath islands. But yeah, how do you get out here to the end islands where we're working on our silly projects? You might sometimes wonder like, oh yeah, well you can get here via giant blue ice pathway, and actually, I like this as a recommendation, but for most people this isn't practical. For most people this is like, nerve, this is very scary, it's not nice. No one likes to go along an endless pathway where if they slip one block to the left or right, they fall off forever. And what you could do here is you could have some form of like side block. So I mean, we're going to use stone bricks for today, even though it's so ugly, because what you could do, you'd have some form of side block to stop you from falling off there, or if it's a boat, you need to place it like one other block out there. You could do this if you really wanted to, just guarantee that you're safe. But again, personally, I don't like it so much, the sideling thing. It's also, it doesn't look great, it doesn't add to the feel. There's something beautiful about just a single pathway of blocks that I like. So if you don't want to do this, you don't want to have the side pathway, you want to have a more secure way to get to and from the end islands, let me show you what that is, because I'm sure everyone already knows about the end island gateways. We have one just over here. It's about 300 blocks away, so it's not that convenient, so I don't really use it myself because I happen to build my end island away from it. But as you can see right over here, here's an end island gateway, right? If you fly into them, then at just the right speed and just the right angle and you don't mess it up, which, everyone does all the time, especially me, what you're going to do is you're going to be able to teleport to and from the main end island. Okay, just like that, we finally got through. And now you can see that's how you get through them. It's a whole mess. That's how you're meant to do it, either with an Elytra and Fireworks or with an Ender Pearl. Both solutions I don't really like because you need precise Ender Pearl aiming. Not everyone has it, so what I instead recommend is this little contraption right here. You have a staircase to bring you up to it. Then what you do from here, I don't know why this is like this, but then what you do is you have some form of water leading into the end gateway, and what you can actually do is you can swim into the one wide block. You can dive if you want against the current, go back into it. Go into it, and just like this, it's much, much easier to do it that way, because then, I don't know why it's spawned me underneath it, but then you can actually go into it, guaranteed 100% of the time, no full damage, no firework wastage, no looking like an idiot, etc. God damn it, so hard. Like, I'm just trying to get back to prove my point for the video, and it's still that tricky, because maybe this is just me. Maybe I just have the broken motor skills. To everyone else, it's an easy, fly to do. To me, it definitely is not, though. This Enderman agrees with your point. He is angry that I am flying into them rather than just making one of these swimways in. So let me show you how you can much easier do this. You make a staircase, like you can see right here. You can even make it out of actual stairs if you don't like hitting the A button or space every now and then. Then you can use some water, place it right next to it, and it's going to be great. I'll do this for you right now, actually, just in case that looks confusing. All you want to do is have the water go to this block right here. So we'll have the water block be there. Surround the water so it can't escape. This isn't even essential. It's just, you know, for aesthetics, which some people like. And, you know, it's the point of this video that you can make anything the aesthetics that you like. Then we're going to grab ourselves that water bucket that we emptied out earlier for that point. I know my inventory is full, by the way. It's a mess. It's fine. Then we place the water over here, and it's going to flow into there. And then actually, it's going to flow off the side a bit too. So let's place a block over there. And now what you can see is you can do the exact same thing. You can dive against the current. Wait, we're going to make it one block wider, so we actually have a proper current to ride against, like we've done over there. But yeah, you can ride against it, and once you do that, you should be able to... Oh, even in this case, we can swim into it. So here you can see we've got 2 source blocks. Now this is enough for us to swim from one into the other. Why is it not letting us swim in this case? So you want to make it like 2 blocks deep because Minecraft swim mechanics have changed since I last made the last one. See, handy to show you these sorts of things just in case this sort of thing does come up. Then you want to remove this block over here. And now, just like that, as easily as that, we have ourselves a 2 block wide water where we can swim up into it, and then using the same swimming mechanic, we can get into the thing. So now we have a 2 block deep water, which we can drown in if we want to, or you can swim. Those are your 2 choices, drown or swim. You know, make up your mind. But yeah, you can use this to get yourself into the portal if you so choose. I'll try that one again because I messed it up. But as you can see, just like this. Actually, let's remove this block over here so we can go straight into the gap, which is where we want to be. But yeah, we can just swim into the gap and then go through the end portal gateway. And now we're in the end with a lot of Endermen that are very mad at me. This is actually where my old endless pathway started, where it's just a line of Netherrack. Oh, how we've changed. Oh, how we've changed. But yeah, I think it's kind of fun personally. Anyway, though, you can see for this particular one, because it was going to be my kind of hub for this sort of thing, you can see how I've done the exact same thing on the return, just to make it easy to do both ways. Again, you just swim into it, except this is the old swimming. It has to be too deep now for whatever reason. So now we just have an extra block down there. Then we can swim into this, or up the current, I can say. Then we can swim up against it through there, and just like that, we appear on this end in a very strange, weird place with water flowing out for some reason. I don't know why that block got broken, but it seems like it did. What a weird little mechanic right there. So the 5th thing everyone needs to build in their Minecraft world is a giant glass statue that looks like an Enderman. This is just required. Everyone needs one of... No, this is not the 5th thing that everyone should build in their Minecraft world. I mean, I'd argue it's kind of a nice idea. It's not the best execution. I was just kind of trying to add some marker for my end, farm, which, I think we did a good enough job at. But the 5th thing that I think everyone should have in their world somewhere is a furnace room. I even have one in my cave house, as you can see. The funny thing about a furnace room is it's such an essential thing because sometimes you need to smelt lots of things at once. Maybe it's a lot of ores that you're currently smelting your way through. Maybe it's a bunch of sponges or gold or, whatever it is that you're trying to work through. People need to smelt things all the time, and you're going to need a furnace room for that because one furnace smelts one item every 8 seconds, and we don't have time for that. Or you won't have time for that at some point, and so therefore the idea of the furnace room does come up. My first furnace room was just 15 furnaces in a row, but like you might be able to guess from the fact that I mentioned this is my first one, this is a type of room that I've found so essential, I've made 4 of them in my Minecraft world, within a pretty close distance of each other too, so I figured I'd show you all 4 iterations in order, because here's my most simple one. It's literally just 15 furnaces making a wall. I have a bunch of, coal in a chest over... Oh, this is not coal. We have a bunch of coal in a chest over here, as well as coal ores and coal blocks. We used to have some lava buckets also, but still, we keep all of the furnaces stacked at max coal so they can be smelting as much as I can, up to 15 items at once. But again, having to individually stack and unstack every time, it's a thing we can do, but it was a lot of effort, which is why instead, back when baked potatoes were the go-to food in Minecraft, and for a while, for me at least, they kind of were, it's very easy to come by. I mean, look how many potatoes we have. All we had to do was grab a bunch of potatoes, replant them if we wanted to, and then once we replanted the potato... Oh, we need to find some space for them. All we had to do was harvest a bunch of potatoes, replant the ones that we intended to, i.e. all of them, and then we would have ourselves a spare stack of potatoes within just a few seconds. Then what we could do is we could throw the potatoes into my second little furnace idea, because yeah, I figured why not put a furnace next to the thing. So this is again a really simple furnace. It's just designed for ease of use. How do I turn my potatoes into baked potatoes really fast? I had one chest that had 2 hoppers going into 2 other chests, then 2 hoppers going from both of those double chests going down into furnaces. This means that we could smelt smelt 4 sets of potatoes at once, and it's a relatively simple design. I mean, by relatively simple, it's the most simple design, but it's entirely effective for allowing you to divide one, chest between 4 different sets of furnaces. It means if you just have to throw 4 stacks or less of items in somewhere and just guaranteed they'll be cooked as fast as possible, this is the way to do it. It was really fast to set up, the magic potato machine. Man, it's fun seeing nostalgia from so many years ago that you built and decided to name, apparently. But yeah, it's fun that now all of these potatoes, look how many we've cooked in this time compared to how many we could have cooked before. It's pretty nice, right? And now we can eat baked potato for the rest of the video, which is just a delight. I don't recommend baked potatoes unless you disagree with the killing of animals. But if you disagree with the killing of animals, then I recommend against most things in life. So my third furnace room was this absolute work of art, where I decided, you know, I need a lot of smelting to go down, and therefore, what better to do it with than with a furnace, furnace room made from furnaces. The building is also the furnace room. Again, it's furnace shaped. It was designed to look like a furnace, although whether that succeeded is up to you. So yeah, the entire thing was a block of furnaces, which means I have as many furnaces as I could ever reasonably want to use just around the entrance here, and I have used a fair number of these that I've just forgotten about if we're being entirely realistic with ourselves. But then on the inside, I decided later on down the line to actually change it, so I have a bunch of these auto smelters going on here. You place a bunch of whatever you want to smelt up in the very top right here. Let's say, for example, some wood. If that makes us charcoal. So we grab some wood, we place it inside this, then that goes instinctively into the top here, and then we have lava buckets which are fed on ridiculous amounts, although apparently these are all quite empty right now. We have lava buckets that are fed into there, which means that there's eternal fuel, eternal best fuel in the game, by the way. And then down here we get the the charcoal, and we get the buckets, or the the glass. I think glass and charcoal are the 2 major things we smelted here. And yeah, basically it means that we can get a huge amount of smelting done while I'm AFK. All I have to do is hide between these 2 doors, nothing can get to me, and then I come back an hour later, all my smelting, no matter how many hundreds or thousands, or in the case of the 50,000 glass blocks, tens of thousands of glass blocks are done. That was a silly project, I will admit right now. But yeah, that is how we get these things done, and that is why there's a giant chest room next to it, because this is how many chests it took to store all of that sand. Very ridiculous idea, but this was just my third furnace room. My fourth one is a bit more sophisticated, I'd like to believe. Although we do like to believe we're a bit more sophisticated than we were before, but I really do think that this time we did a pretty good job. I made a blast furnace out of Minecraft blocks, and I think it looks pretty convincing. You know, here's what a blast furnace block looks like. Here's what my blast furnace is. Again, it's not too terrible, right? And then here's the clever thing about this: the entrance, like this kind of, it works like a giant blast furnace. All we do is we put any items we want to cook into the center here. Can you cook anything we have in our inventory? I don't think so. We put any items we want to cook into this here, and then there's an automatic item sorter. This was, again, way over the top in terms of complexity. We have an item sorter going on right here, which works out what an item is using these complex redstone materials. Basically what it's doing is it's checking to see if it's any of these things. If it's gold, it goes in the blast furnace. If it's iron, it goes in this blast furnace. Coal for this blast furnace, redstone for this one. Then if it's any other item, it goes into this furnace right here. So you can see my smooth stone cooked here. And then if this furnace is full, it'll go into the next one, so then it'll smelt from that furnace, and then so on and so forth, giving us 4 furnaces worth of cooked beef steak cooking, apparently, giving us 4 furnaces for regular items and 4 furnaces for fuel. If we do have a bunch of materials like iron, for instance, that we pick up, and we're just not like, if we have a whole inventory full of stuff we want to smelt, but we don't want to deal with putting it into individual things and dealing with it ourselves, all we have to do is throw the iron into this, and what you're going to see is the automatic smelting system, which again, I quite like it as a way over the top solution to a simple problem. The simple furnace will look at this, it will work out what it is, and it'll throw it right here into the iron furnace, or the iron blast furnace, as you can see, which smelts at double the speed of a regular furnace, and isn't that wonderful? Also, then from there, it then goes into another hopper, into this barrel right here. So look how much iron we have, and how much coal, and redstone, and everything else that we apparently have filled here. Oh, we only hooked those ones up to the barrels next to them. These ones we just didn't bother with. Okay, reasons, sure. But yeah, this is a very over-the-top solution, because it also means the most effective way to cook meat is here. You throw the meat on the things, you don't waste any coal, again, arguably over the top. This was a really cool room, I think. I think it's a really cool concept that I just didn't use enough and don't intend to use enough. But if you want, this is like 4 different levels of complexity. You can go for a furnace. You can have the lowest end one of just cooked potatoes, the magic potato machine. You can have a furnace room in your house. You can have a giant furnace building with auto smelters, or you can have a literal furnace building with multiple types of smelters in here for all of your smelting needs. It just depends on how much you smelt in your Minecraft world, or how much you desire making a weird complex structure. I love having my giant blast furnace here as a concept. I think I put it in the wrong place, like it's a kind of, again, you can see it's squeezed in between 2 things, but you might you might not love that, or you might love having an even bigger one. These are your decisions you get to make, because Minecraft is the game where no one can tell you what you can and cannot do, and that is the thing I absolutely love about this, and indeed about everything in the game. You can do anything you want and no one can criticize you for it. That's why my spawn building is a giant mushroom tower for some reason. That's why it took me literally years to finish the lighthouse up there, but we finally did it. Everything in Minecraft you can do at your own pace in your own time. That's why my Minecraft world is weird and wacky, is because it's the combination of 7.5 years of just weird ideas that have kind of formed together at different points. Like, at some point in time, I thought a giant statue of myself overlooking my area would be great. I kind of like it now. I go back and forth with that. And that's the beautiful thing about Minecraft. If you have a long-term survival world, you might look at it and cringe and be like, oh, this is awful, I need to start again. But the truth is, kind of like the real world, where you are a continually evolving person, where your past defines your future, your Minecraft world's past defines its future too. And working with that is one of the fun challenges in the game that I really desire, and that's why I play the same Minecraft world. And if you want to keep playing the same Minecraft world, remember to focus on these 5 things and anything else that you want to build. Because, again, the whole idea of this video is people have inspiration lacking sometimes, because there's so much you can do in the game that it's hard to work out which individual thing you should do, and maybe this was some good inspiration. Or maybe it wasn't, I don't know. I hope you all enjoy the video, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.